I want to thank you all for being here today. My name is Greg Hoffert. I'm a city councilor, and I will be one of the co-chairs of the event we're about to announce, along with Corey Prokop, who's the chairman of the Estevan Bruins. Welcome everyone here today. Couple quick introductions. Just introduce Corey Prokop, the chairman of the Estevan Bruins, Coach Chris Lugood, Captain Jaden Davis, and many members of the Estevan Bruins executive and management team are here with us today as well. To my right, Mayor Roy Ludwig. Next to him we have Ryan and Mandy Irwin from the Tim Hortons franchise in Estevan. We'll get to that a little bit in a moment here. And then City Council and City Manager Jeff Ward. Also here is Becky Wessling, and that's important for me to announce because what we're about to announce took a lot of work and effort and time to put into, and Becky shouldered a lot of the load in that process. So thank you, Becky, for everything you've done for us to be here. Also want to acknowledge the many fans who have come in speculation of what I think you'll probably all guess the announcement is going to be today, and thank you to the media for being here as well. And of course, our team, the Estevan Bruins, the stars of the show, thank you guys for being here today, and we'll get on with this. As many of you are aware, in the spring of this year, a local group composed of Estevan Bruins and City of Estevan submitted a bid to host the Centennial Cup, which is the National Junior A Championship of junior hockey in Canada. Today, the City of Estevan and the Estevan Bruins are thrilled to announce that Hockey Canada has awarded us this prestigious event, the Centennial Cup, for the year 2022. So that's coming to Estevan in 2022, the National Junior A Challenge. So led by the host committee, the Centennial Cup will be an absolute true partnership between the Bruins and the city, and both have stepped up in admirable fashion to make this what we think is going to be one of the best events ever. It'll be my privilege to serve as co-chair with Corey Prokop of this event. We're confident with the support of the city, our first-class facilities, a solid hockey tradition in Estevan, and our amazing athletes, many of which are here behind us that will be eligible in 2022, and along with a team of volunteers, we are going to produce one of the best events Hockey Canada has ever seen. We'll now get to work filling the remaining positions on the committee. It'll be composed of Estevan Bruins, board and executive, city council, the business community, volunteer sections, a lot of folks with experience on previous national events we've brought to our city, which will all lend itself to a very successful event in 2022. In many ways, the planning has already started through the extensive bid package that Hockey Canada requires. A delegation we sent to the Brooks tournament this spring to see how they did it, and we'll be attending the Portage and Penticton events in 2020 and 2021. A few quick comments about the event that we think are very key. There's a projected economic impact to our community that others have experienced hosting this event in the neighborhood of $3 million. So it's going to fill a lot of hotels, a lot of restaurants, a lot of shopping venues, and the economic impact of an event like this is huge, and we're thrilled to bring that to our city in 2022. There's a lasting legacy that comes along with this. It's a requirement of Canada that the games leave a legacy, and so that legacy will be felt by the Estevan Bruins, Estevan Minor Hockey, as well as potentially some improvements to various facilities in Estevan. Those details will be worked out with the host committee when it starts to meet, and with Hockey Canada. From a budget perspective, I'm sure there's a lot of questions about that. Hockey Canada required us to submit what we consider a break-even budget and a optimistic budget. So our break-even budget is in the neighborhood of $700,000 to $800,000, and that'll be ironed out with the host committee once we start to meet. We have Bruce and Trudy Firth on that will have agreed to come on as the accountants for the event, and so on a volunteer basis, so they'll be an important part of this process. So that means we're going to have to generate some revenue to pull this event off. That comes by way of grants. There's an awful lot of grants, the city grants, Hockey Canada grants, other provincial grants. That'll compose about 30% of that budget. Sponsorship in the neighborhood of 20%. Ticket sales, we're looking at 25%, and miscellaneous merchandise 50/50, and other activities another 25% of that budget. We're going to build on the success of what was a very successful Western Canada Cup a few years ago that was held in Estevan and was the most successful of all of the Western Canada Cups. Our goal is to rely a little bit less on corporate sponsorship and a little more on ticket sales, and certainly learn a lot and use a lot that they gained that valuable experience when they hosted that event in Estevan. We're looking at affordable ticket packages, and our goal is to fill this rink. We've got a lot of, we're going to have a great team, and they deserve to be watched, and we're going to welcome Canada to Affinity Place here in Estevan. So it's our goal to fill the rink. Volunteer base in the neighborhood of 180 people. Okay, that's a significant, it's similar to what they used to host the national curling events, such as the Canada Cup of Curling last year. We're going to look at 180. We've already had an enormous amount of people step forward throughout the bid process and beyond, wanting to volunteer, wanting to be on the team if we're successful. So we look forward to shoring that committee up in the next month or so, and to get to work planning. So just a few events. With that, I'm now going to ask co-chair Corey Prokoff and the Estevan Bruins chair to step forward. Are those yours? Sorry.
Thank you, Greg. Welcome, everybody. On behalf of the Estevan Bruins, I can't begin to explain how excited I am to finally be able to announce to the public that we've been granted the privilege to host this prestigious event in 2022. It's certainly been a long road to get to this point, and I'd like to thank Greg Hoffert, Mayor Roy, City Council, Rebecca Wessling, and Chris Lugood for all the hard work and support that they have provided throughout the bid process. The Estevan Bruins Hockey Club has a very proud history. As an organization, we've been building a foundation of success over the past few seasons, which has resulted in 3 straight division titles, a trip to the league final 2 seasons ago, and an exciting playoff run last year. Knowing that we were going to be hosting the national championship in 2022, we've made a conscious decision to go with a more youthful lineup in an effort to build towards a championship caliber team for the event that we're going to be hosting. There's much work to be done to get us to that level of competitiveness, but we are committed to earn our way to the national championship that we'll be hosting here in Estevan in 2022. I'm looking forward to working alongside Greg in my role as co-chair of this event. Estevan has proven that when it comes to hosting events of this scale, we are second to none in the country. We look forward to showcasing our city, our beautiful facility, our amazing volunteers, and our hockey club in 2022. Before I hand things off to Chris Lugood for a few comments, Bill Chow, the president of the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, sends his regrets that he couldn't be in attendance at the press conference today, but he asks that I do say a few words on behalf of the league. I do represent the Estevan Bruins as a governor at the league level, and I know that the league and its other 11 member clubs are extremely excited to see the national championship coming back to this province. When the 2022 event rolls around, it'll be 10 years since the tournament was hosted here in Saskatchewan last, and that was in Humboldt in 2011-2012. The league is committed to hosting the national championship alongside the Bruins in 2022 and is confident that it'll be a first-class event. I'd like to hand things off to Chris Lugood, our coach and general manager, for a few comments.
I'd like to say thank you to Corey and Greg, and welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'll be brief. I just want to take a second to, on behalf of the Bruins hockey operations, express our excitement for the event forthcoming. It's been a long road, as Corey mentioned, to get to this point, and our vision as a hockey operations staff is to be as competitive as you can be every day leading up to the tournament. We've said it right from the start, even in our in-person presentation with Hockey Canada, that the best way to prepare for a championship at the national level is through experience and leadership. And a lot of the players that we have with us today are not going to be eligible due to their age to participate in that event. And in our meeting this morning as a group, we spent some time talking about the vital role they play in setting the table for the younger players within our group to learn from. As we've seen over the last several years here, we've seen continual growth as our players have moved on and left the team in a better place. So starting at the start of this season, we've more than ever focused our energy on leadership and growth within our group rather than try to pull from outside our group and add to our hockey team. And we feel with the veteran leadership core we have now, along with the guys that will play those roles in next year's team, not only will we have some success that will lead to experience for the younger players, but it'll set a positive example for those players in leading to our team to success in the 21-22 season. I'd like to ask our fans to throw their support behind these guys as much as they have in the past and continue to do so. They're working incredibly hard to make sure that we're in a place to not only be adequate hosts for the event, but earn our way there in 2022. Thanks again, and we're really looking forward to the event.
Thank you, Chris. I alluded to at the start that Tim Horton's representatives, Mandy and Ryan, who are here today. The event will now be called, for starting this year, the Centennial Cup, as presented by Tim Hortons. So Tim Hortons is coming on as a presenting sponsor for the national event, moving into the future, and thanks guys for being here. I'd now like to call Mayor Ludwig forward.
Okay, thank you very much, Greg. This really is an exciting day for the city of Estevan and our community. We're very happy that we were chosen. We'd like to thank the selection committee from Hockey Canada for choosing us. We feel that they made the right decision. I'd like to thank all the people in the background for doing all the work. All I had to do was go on a plane ride with Greg and Corey and Chris and run off at the mouth a bit, and here we are. It worked out well. But Greg and Corey did the yeoman's work, along with, I'd like to thank Rebecca. She's helped out a lot. I'd like to thank council, all the members of our community that support us each and every single day, especially when we have these large events. I can't say enough again about our volunteers. With the great volunteer base, we know that this will be a 100% success. So again, thanking all of those people involved. It's a great day. So thank you again. Can't say enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. And now I'd like to call forward our captain, Jaden Davis, and say a few words.
It is. Hello, everybody. This is my fourth year with the Bruins, and we've continually gotten better since I've been here. And the team is going to be great. These young guys have so much skill, and I can't explain to you how awesome it is going to be to watch these guys. I'll come in for probably every game because these guys have so much skill and have developed so much throughout the year. And this community is amazing. Every year in playoffs, we sell out the building. And when we went to the finals, everybody came out to support. So when we have this cup, it'll be amazing. And I just think it'll be great for the community. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jaden. So with that, I can just wrap it up by saying we cannot wait to welcome the nation to our city, our Affinity Place, and to show off these fantastic athletes when we welcome the nation for 10 days in May of 2022. At this time, we'll open it up to questions from the media if you have any, or we'll be available for interviews after. So thank you very much. Thanks to the media, City Council, the executive, the players, and of course the fans who we can't do without for being here this morning.
Golf clap.